Hey, welcome back to another edition of Ego on Break. I'm your host, Dynamite J. Andrews. Got the Mississippi Madman, Logan Creed, sitting to my left. And we are at the unofficial, official, could be official, but they're not official because they don't want to be official, but they could be if they wanted to be. Sponsor, Taco Bell.
You can't see nothing with this damn thing no more.
So,
teeny tiny cups they give you now.
Yeah. I guess this is the first or second of the new year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Yeah, this technically is the second, but it should have been the first, but someone uploaded the video to private and not public, and not gonna call any names, but so it's now the second video of 2020.
The last one was a Christmas one.
Yeah, it's a Christmas special. It was our predictions, so be sure to watch that and see if any of our predictions are correct.
Because technically it wasn't a New Year one recorded.
Right, it just got put up today. Yeah.
And I was sick for the New Year, so
yeah,
I spent unconscious.
Puke-a-lots over here.
I wish it was Puke-a-lots. It might have come out quicker. Been sick 3 damn days. That sucks.
But gonna talk some wrestling. I haven't watched a ton of wrestling. I've seen a little bit. I've seen some things that popped up on the news, Facebook, and all that kind of stuff. And Madman's watched a little bit. So what's the biggest thing as of yet you've seen for 2020? Like the big, like, hey, here's the news buzzworthy thing of 2020. Right now, for me, I think it would be that Ron Killings did not age in 20 years or 10 years.
That dude doesn't age, man. He's one of those guys that does not age.
Like, I see it everywhere. Like, it's like 15 or 20you different memes.
He looks good for him, man.
So the decade challenge thing or whatever.
He wins.
Where were you at in 2010? Where were you at in 2020? It's all. So he actually looks younger. So that was what was blowing up my news feed. You have anything on yours?
No, unfortunately, all that was that wedding thing on WWE. Which I didn't care.
I watched it. I actually enjoyed it.
Well, that's what a lot of people have said. Some people loved it and some people hated it. They say usually there isn't an in-between.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little different. A little bit of a spin to the Macho Man Miss Elizabeth marriage. That's what everything's based off of, Well,
sure. That
worked, so it's going to work every time after that,
Didn't they have a snake in a box for that one?
Yeah. So, I thought it was cool, when the first husband came out. That was kind of a cool spin.
Yeah,
and then,
I forgot who he was. He's a worker.
No, was he?
Yeah, he's a wrestler.
And then, Lashley's girl came out.
She's a wrestler. No, one of them was an actress.
Yeah.
I think it was. She was the actress.
But overall, I enjoyed it. I mean, I thought it was a cool little swerve. I kept waiting for Lashley to pop out the cake. I mean, not Lashley, but Rusev to pop out the cake. And he did, which, didn't disappoint. He had his little bow tie on. He was festive. So he was dressed to the T's.
Personally, I thought it would have been cooler if the other girl would have popped out the cake.
Well, see,
Rusev would have come down and just kicked his ass.
I saw something.
Liv Morgan, right?
Right. But so I thought like Lana had left Lashley, like stood Lashley up for her. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize what it was. So I was almost expecting Liv Morgan to pop out of the cake. But then when she came down, I'm like, well, Rusev is in the cake.
Yeah.
But
it's Rusev Day.
Yeah, Rusev Day. So it's pretty cool. And I thought it was funny that, people were predicting that WWE was going to overhaul her and be Sister Abigail and this and that.
And they were like, nothing has ever been said about that.
Yeah, so
it wasn't even hinted at that. This is just what people have wanted for years.
I don't think you're going to get a Sister Abigail.
No, the whole story is she's dead.
You want to know who Sister Abigail is? I think it's going to be Bo. What's his name?
I hope not.
What's his name?
Bo Dallas.
Bo Dallas, yeah. I think Bo Dallas is going to be Sister Abigail.
God, I hope not.
Yeah, I think that's who you're going to get. You're going to get kind of Bo Dallas doing his best, the artist formerly known as Goldust. So and he's going to be Sister Abigail. Wow. So I think that's what you're going to get. So that's going to be. I'm adding that to my 2020 predictions.
Right ahead.
That Sister Abigail is going to turn out to be Bo Dallas. Why not?
Poor Bo Dallas. He's the B team.
I saw a. Speaking of Bo Dallas, I saw a meme where it's his head on Roman Reigns' body, and it's like Bowman Reigns. and honestly, like, wow. It's like you could almost interchange them. Like, you could see him in that gimmick. Like, So just believe.
I liked that gimmick. I thought it could have went somewhere. They didn't really do anything with it.
But I watched that, and I had attempted to watch several things. And when I say attempted, means I probably got a minute and a half into them and had to do something else because I have a pretty busy life and don't get to just chill all the time.
But that's the only reason I saw what I saw.
I started watching NXT. I started watching the rest of Final Battle 2019 from Ring of Honor. I started watching the newest episode of NWA and the episode before that. But yeah, I've started watching a bunch of stuff and just never really got into any of them. For whatever reason, I just had to leave the area where the TV was or where my phone was, and then just never went back. So I'm not very useful today. So.
I don't know. I like the Aaron Stevens thing.
Yeah, NWA Power.
That's the main one I watched.
We got the third degree North American champion.
Yeah, but he wrestled. What was the first
Sal
name?
Rinauro.
Sal Rinauro. When we met Sal.
And it wasn't bad.
No.
And Sal looks really good. I mean, he was looking rough there for a while.
Still look kind of rough.
Yeah, well, if you'd seen him a year ago, you'd probably change your mind. So that was good.
He looks like Necro Butcher, kind of. He does, with the wild hair and the beard and everything.
But
their match was decent.
It was
way
fine.
More
I mean,
than I
it
thought
did what was supposed to be done, you know.
And then him and damn it, what? Trevor Murdoch had a match, and that was a better match.
Yeah.
But Trevor used the Indian Deathlock, and I hadn't seen that move since Booker T got beat by Triple H at WrestleMania that year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was literally the last time I remember seeing that move.
Yeah, probably so.
But that was actually really good. I'm a big fan of Trevor Murdoch. He come down basically, he's taking up for the younger guys, and he's like, I don't like seeing somebody of your caliber put down a green guy. It's not right.
Yeah, a young guy.
Yeah, so.
And we got a promo before that with Tim Storm, who's doing kind of a reverse Jim Cornette, where Cornette used his mama as a way to get heat.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Tim's using it as a way to get sympathy or relate to the people.
Fans chant Mama Storm is all I can tell you. And
So,
he's got a shirt that says Mama Storm.
Yeah, I think probably in the near future you'll see Mama Storm on a pole.
I hope not. She's 95, he said. So
I mean, as long as Judy
hope
Bagwell
that
is
happens.
driving the forklift, I think it'll be okay. But
God. But it was
Mama
funny that
Storm.
at one point in the night, Aldous comes out and cuts a promo, and he was pointing out Ricky.
yeah,
Ricky Morton or Tim Aldis, whoever the hell wants to be the next Randy the Ram.
yeah.
And I was like, you heard the crowd's response on that.
They're like, ooh. Yeah, comparing Ricky Morton and Randy Ram was pretty cool.
Oh, that's messed up, but it was true.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I dig it. And like I said, that's about as far as I made it into NWA Power. I don't know anything else happened after that, so you'll have to pull that. I did see that the Wild Cards have joined up with Nick Aldis and...
Yeah, and you thought you was going to get Aldis versus Tim Storm at the main event, and that didn't happen.
Okay, so what happened?
It wound
instead?
up being what's the shorter tag team guy?
Royce.
Is that? I think so.
Yeah.
He fought him, and they won. You know, it's a 6-minute and 5-second match. I don't know if you know that, yeah.
Yeah, I dig that the TV title is going to be a 6-minute and 5-second challenge.
6:05.
Yeah, so it's from the 6:05, but it plays off the old 15-minute time limit. But only having roughly 45 minutes to do an episode, I mean, I dig that it's only 6:05, and I like kind of where that comes from. So I was gonna say that was unique. I did like that.
But yeah, that was the match, and it was actually really decent. The guy got well more than I did. I actually thought he might go forward over Tim, and Tim wound up winning. But it was a good match.
Yeah. You think Tim's gonna win the tournament and be the TV champion?
I kind of hope not, because I like Trevor. I really want Trevor to win. If I had to pick somebody out of the two, I like both guys, but I'm just a big Trevor Murdoch fan.
I got you.
And there was another point where it was, what's his name? Eli Drake.
Eli Drake.
Yeah, and that's what he says now. By the way, he ripped off my gimmick.
Dummy.
I swear.
Dummy.
I swear he started, yeah, and all the crowd, yeah, behind him.
You trademark it?
Yeah, I should have.
Dummy.
I know. Damn it. See, mine was from making fun of somebody. He just started doing it. And
He probably watches our episode. Yeah, he probably watches Ego and Break.
Yep.
But yeah. So Eli Drake did what now?
He was out there cutting a promo and talking about Mr. Anderson.
Mr.
And Colt Cabana come out and he's like, look, I'm not trying to really stick up for the guy, but he is my tag team partner. He said he can fight his own fights. I thought this stuff was over. He said, you ought to apologize. And Colt was actually cutting a very serious promo.
Yeah.
And that I was getting behind because seeing Colt come out and do something serious is kind of new.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I thought they were going to get into it. And right as I thought they were going to get into it, out come Anderson, and he's having to pull them apart. So that's kind of leading up to something kind of interesting. So it looked like he's more or less looking for a tag team partner is what the promo was about.
Colt is or Eli?
Eli.
Okay.
Colt's teaming with Anderson.
I got you.
So they're actually a pretty good little tag team. They haven't done a lot, but a little bit I have seen was pretty good.
That's cool. That's cool.
And he even called him out. He's like, you always talk about holding championship belts. He goes, I am a 2-time NWA champion, unlike you.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's weird to see Colt be arrogant towards somebody because he's never been arrogant toward anybody.
Right.
So it's definitely seeing a different side of Colt Cabana, and I kind of look forward to see where the hell that's going.
Yeah, because, I mean, we all know the comedy still, but before he got really over his comedy, he was a serious guy, you know. I mean, it was never, like, super, super serious, but, I mean, it was always there. So, definitely looking forward to that, too, for sure.
This was very serious. And then there was a match. It was the ladies' match, and I can't never remember this damn girl. I'd have to look.
Thunder Rosa?
No, it wasn't Thunder Rosa.
Marty Bell?
Marty Bell.
All right.
Lost to another indie wrestler.
Ashley Vox?
I think so, yeah.
She's a Chikara chick. She came from Chikara.
It was actually probably one of the best women matches I've seen in NWA so far, in all honesty.
Nice.
Yeah. So I do say go out of your way to watch that if you can find it. I was surprised he won. Very, very surprised, to be honest. Yeah. And Melina was outside, and after the match, she gets in and chews her ass. She's pointing at her face. All you had to do is win this damn match and blah, 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 blah,
I really
blah,
hate... Like, I think my biggest complaint about NWA is, like, they start and stop storylines and try to force a storyline that's not there and stuff. So, like, 2 episodes ago, she was turning heel, and now they're building her to turn baby.
I don't understand.
You know, like,
she was baby. Why
that's what I'm saying. Why flip her?
I don't know.
I mean, that's the whole thing with Camille. Like, you know, episode 1, they're going, why did you let her talk? I'm like, we ain't even seen her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're trying to force this angle of you won't let Camille talk, but yet we've only seen her twice. You know what I mean? Like,
but it is kind of seemed like a restart, maybe.
Yeah.
It was a little more serious of a show because sometimes there would have been a lot more comedic stuff, and I was actually more happy with the more serious angle.
Yeah.
Like I said, the Colt Cabana thing was probably the part that got me the most. The matches this week were actually really good. Yeah. And the funniest part to me was at the end of the Tim Storm match, and I know I'm jumping back, but Aldous was kind of sneaking up to come into the match, and he turned around, and there's Robert Gibson and Ricky Morton, and Ricky Morton goes, never turn your back on your enemy.
Nice.
And that's how the show went off the air. And I was like...
Oh, Randy the Ram came out there.
I'm telling you, you're going to get ram jammed. But, I mean, I think these older guys really bring more to the table than a lot of people realize. I think they're probably helping in the back. Because to me, the promos even come off more serious this week. You didn't get no more of the rape juice.
Oh, yay.
Whatever the hell that was called.
Kayfabe cocktail.
There you go, yeah.
Your rape juice. Talking about your rape juice.
Grape juice, rape juice. But anyway, that wasn't on there this week. I was glad of that.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
They're doing the, what's it called? Where you can run a ring too.
High Spots?
High Spots has their commercial.
Yeah, the Danny Deals.
Well, this wasn't Danny. This was actually the Man Scout.
Oh, was it?
He was on there cutting a really serious promo, and then and wants the guy with all wild hair. Oh, I got deals.
Yeah, that's the Danny Deals.
Yeah, I know, but it was him instead of the other guy.
Yeah, before it was JD Drake.
Yeah. So I expect next to be.
Oh, please be George South. Come on, guys. Come on. Miss number 1.
You watch George South for some days. That's the clapness some bitch I ever did see.
He probably got calluses like.
I swear, if he chopped you, he'd kill you.
Because he's warming them up, baby. He's warming them
He's
up.
always clapping. That's the first time I'm like, is this a gimmick? And I watched like 3 shows and went, no, it's just
Nope,
something he
that's
does.
just him. He's probably like at Walmart. Let me get some of them taters over there.
I know he's going to get your attention in a restaurant if he can't get you.
Give me that check.
It's like, what the hell's he clapping for? And then I went back and watched that documentary,
Oh, that's a great
Without a Ring.
Mm-hmm.
And he's clapping that damn thing. And I was like, I just didn't realize it.
Yeah, you didn't pay no attention because
No.
it's just kind of quick, but.
But I was like, oh my God, I've watched a few of his shows and he claps. I'm like, is there an audience he's applauding for? What the hell's going on?
He's a baby face. Come on, get him fired up. Clap your hands. George South is awesome.
But, you know, at the NWA show they had, George South wrestled Muda.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
And that was one of the main event.
That is awesome.
And now, I don't know if this is true, so take what I've heard in your window. But supposedly that might have been his last match versus
Muda's?
Muda.
Oh, George South.
No, yeah.
Why not? I mean,
And I
why
was
don't
like,
he go out? You know?
man, if so, that's an awesome way to go out. So I thought that was really cool. And that's where Nick Aldis come in and laid the title in front of Muda. So, and some people are like, well, what does that mean? I was like, well, it's still great Muda.
Yeah.
You know, he was a huge name in NWA.
I mean, it could be Mood or it could be like, you know, Larry Smith, the guy from down the road. I mean, like.
I'd
why
rather see
not?
Muda.
Yeah.
You know, I think Muda could still draw a good little crowd.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll go anywhere or not.
Well, it doesn't matter if it does or don't. It's just still a cool moment, you know,
Yes.
that it's just kind of the present meeting the past, you know.
I think so. And then I watched a highlight of the AEW show. I didn't get to watch the actual AEW show.
Yeah.
I saw.
Night of the Canadian Destroyers.
Evidently. They had a 6-man tag. Everybody's really high on right now. At the very end was Lucha Brothers and oh God, what was the guy? I can't remember the other guy. Versus All the Elite, which was the Bucks and Kenny Omega.
Oh, cool.
And evidently everybody hit a Canadian Destroyer. And they win the match, and the Cowboy was up in the rafters calling the matches. And they offered him to come down, and he, no, I'm good. I'm happy right where I am. So I don't know if he's done being elite, but I think he may be taking a little hiatus from being elite.
Oh, that's interesting.
I thought so. And the nice little storyline that was going on right at the end of the year where a bunch of nobodies beat up with everybody's wasn't even mentioned on the show.
The Dark Order.
Funny how it happened. Huh? After everybody shit all over it, wasn't even talked about. They said the only way it was talked about was that there was a deal talking about, we have a new member of the Dark Order. I was like, oh wow, is it more people that don't win matches? I mean, that was their whole deal. Is like, that's what one reason everybody was so mad is you brought in 2 guys that have not won a match on national television. They haven't even been on national television but once, and they lost then. And then they've only been on AEW Dark, and they've been losing there. So what? How the hell are these jobbers beating up everybody's? So that's what everybody was getting so hot about.
They're pulling a Jack Swagger.
Yeah, kinda.
Or Jinder Mahal.
No.
Go from L's to dominating. So,
And
yeah, why not?
Cody won his first match against Half Paint
Darby.
Allen, and everything I saw.
I thought
that
Darby
looked
was like
great.
coming out to be his like partner.
He did. That was the show before, and that was the agreement. Like he would tag with him if he could get his rematch, and that was what they did. They beat the Bunny, the Blade, and the Butcher or whatever it was.
Yeah. I dig
Actually,
that.
a good tag match, a very good tag match.
Okay.
I think where AEW is messing up, and I'm not going to say they're messing up, it's just what they're doing. It's like when the Butcher and the Bunny and the Blade all come up, you know, this is the gimmick Undertaker, Mankind, and Kane, and guys like this have done, and they want the same reaction as Kane and Undertaker and Mankind, all of them have always got, but nobody knows what the hell they are.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they're bad wrestlers. They weren't. The tag
Right.
match I saw was great. It was really good. But when you don't have that name recognition, It's just not the same.
Yeah, I mean, I think if they could do more to introduce them, you know what I mean?
Well, think about this. If they would have done that with Jack Swagger, everybody knows who Jack Swagger is.
Right.
If he'd have come out from under the ring, his big jacked up ass would have kicked everybody's ass. It'd been different. Everybody's like, oh, it's Jack Swagger.
Yeah.
But the Butcher, the Bunny, and the Blade, the only one anybody knew was the Bunny.
Yeah,
and y'all had her covered up, so we wasn't even sure that's who it was.
Right.
So it's not that they're doing bad; it's that they're wanting a reaction from people that people don't know who they are.
Yeah. They're not spending enough time educating us, the fans.
No, they want you to automatically assume that you know an indie guy, and you don't.
Yep. That's my thing. Is like I was talking about with the Camille thing earlier in the NWA. Like, I don't know if we didn't know that Aldous hadn't let her talk through multiple episodes of like the 10 pounds of gold or whatever.
Stuff on that,
but if you're just coming in as a cold fan, just coming in, oh look, here's this new show, I'm gonna tune in and watch it. Well, we don't know any of these people.
I didn't know nothing.
And I think I agree. Like AEW should spend more time trying to educate us on who they are. You know. Because not everybody that watches AEW watches All Elite. They don't watch, the Nightmare Cody channel. Like,
well, that's something else I was going to say about Cody is Arn Anderson come out as kind of, I guess, his coach.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a big old AEW thing on his thing, and he's pointing at his chest, and it says AEW. And I'm thinking he's supposed to be like Cody's coach because he would tell him a little bit to do in the match.
Yeah.
And he would do it. So he never touched Darby at all. And everything I saw, I'm going to go find the whole show and watch it tonight. But Arn as a coach, I thought that was an interesting idea. I really did. And he didn't do anything. Not really. He was just out there.
He just throwing advice.
So, will he do anything? It's Arn Anderson. I eventually expect a spine buster, to be quite honest.
Right.
But I thought that
it would be really cool, though, because, there is some history with Cody and Ty Dillinger, or whatever his name is there. But he's got Tully, so it'd kind of be cool if Cody had Arn.
I hated how quick that ended.
Yeah.
Like, that was another thing.
Has it ended, or is it just...
It hasn't been reckoned.
It may just circle back around.
They haven't even talked about it since the match happened.
Well,
like, they go through storylines so quick, you didn't even have a storyline.
It's that instant gratification. We want it now, and we don't want it later.
But it was one match. It didn't equal out to nothing.
Well, sure it did. It gave him a reason to, sit in the chair in his entrance.
And now he's fighting Janela. And Janela and him had a match. Oh, my God, it was awesome. So go find it because you might get a little offended. I didn't get offended because it wasn't really his fault. But Joey comes out dressed like Santa Claus and fights him. Well, there's a guy in the audience that's dressed like Jesus. And this sucker has a beard, the long hair, the robe, and him and oh my God, him and Joey bow at each other, and he's like, kick his ass. It was hilarious.
I mean, I'm okay
but
with
it was
it
was controversial because of the way the guy was dressed. But
I believe Jesus is a
homeboy look like if you was gonna pick him out of if you were gonna pick him somebody to play Jesus, you'd be like, that's him. But then you see his arm covered in tattoos. Yeah. But it was really cool.
He's like metalhead Jesus.
I swear, dude, I was rolling. Even Daryl was like, what the hell are you watching? I was like, I don't know. Jesus is at AEW. I was like, I'm not sure what's going on.
Well, I think we found our title. Jesus was at AEW.
I swear, man. It was really good. It was AEW Dark, the show before the end of the year.
Cool.
And actually at the end, he goes under the ring and pulls out 2 drinks, and he wins the match against Mr. Perfect. Mm-hmm. Hands him a beer. They open it. They drink. Give him a stunner. So
Stone Cold Santa Jesus Joey Janela.
Yes, it was weird, bro, but it was actually a very good match.
Santa Cold Joey. I don't know.
I died, man.
Well, if your favorite deathmatch wrestler dresses like Santa Claus and pretends to be Stone Cold, let us know in the comments. But until next time,
watch wrestling.
Watch wrestling. Later, guys.